Hey, look, it's another Breville BES920. And my last video, I showed how there was a fault with the volumetric programming of my machine. And I happen to be at my brother's house now. And so I'm going to do a test today of his machine and see if it has the same fault. I've sent mine away to the repairer, took it back to where I bought it, and they've sent it to the local Breville repairer and they're fixing it. So anyway, we're going to do the same test as what we did on my machine. So first step will be to weigh out the beans and make sure we've got the right amount of beans. So I'm using this little scale. I'll just tear that. So I've put in here 19 grams of beans. That's close enough. 18.9. So I'll grind that up. So for this first test, I've got the rocky grinder set on number 5, and we're just going to do that as our first test. So I'll tamp that. Just a little check with the Breville's razor tool. It's just below the surface there, so according to Breville, that's the right amount. So on the machine here, turn that off again just to show you by pressing the 1 cup and the power button, and we go up to where it says volume. It is on flow, so that is volumetric. So we'll start that again. Okay, so we'll tear that cup so it's on 0. I've set this just before to being on 50 mils. So let's see how we go. This is another problem this machine has had, is that the pre-infusion pressure doesn't actually work. It's not enough pressure to get the pre-infusion going, which is pretty poor. The only way to get it going is to kick the pump over a little bit first by turning it on to 100% pressure and then running it as you would normally, in which case the pump has spun over, but it's like it's not quite enough power to get the pre-infusion working. Anyway, so that was a little bit of a slower start. The flow is okay, tiny bit on the slow side. What do we got here? To wait till we finish. So that has come up at 30 something mils. Okay, 45 seconds, and yeah, according to that, gee, you can't even really read that, but it says 29.8 mils. Okay, so now let's do the second one. Right, so here's my second lot of beans. I've teared the cup. Again, 19.1, but it's okay, one bean and make it the same. 19, 18.9, so that's the same amount of coffee. Into the grinder, and this time I'm going to wind this grinder up to 10.
The two-handed change to wind up.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Let's go to 12. Let's make an extreme change. Okay, so we'll do that, and I'll just grind that up and then show you that. There's our 12. All right, so here's again just showing that it's at the right level for the razor tool. It's literally just there. So we'll snap that in again. I've teared the cup already, so that's on 0. And we'll just stick that up in here and press our 2 cup button again. Again, you'll hear there's no pre-infusion. The pump's not kicking over. At the end of this video, I'm going to show how we managed to get it kicking over, but it's just not enough pressure to get it going to start with. So this one is definitely a faster flow. I didn't actually look at what the gauge was saying before as far as the bar meter, but we're already up to 30 mils and it's still going. 30 seconds. So it actually is a 50 mil shot that time in 33 seconds. Might do another one just to test and see if I can change it again. So let's do another test. Oh, did you see the 50 mils? I can't remember. See, it's in there. 50.2. 9. Final test here. 19 grams we'll go for. So, a couple extra. There we go, 19 grams of beans. So I'm going to go for a 20 grind. Yep, that's a coarse grind for sure. So we'll tamp that and see how we go. Okay, cup tiered. Up in place. Again, I didn't show you the 2 cup button. No pressure and pre-infusion. So they've all been the same at least. No pre-infusion pressure. That's gushing now. So if it was volumetric, that's already up to 30 mils, 40 mils, you know, it would have stopped by now. So 22-second infusion, very fast, and 55 mils. So that's quite a bit different than the first was. First one was 30 mils, wasn't it? Is that right? So anyway, let's just have a look at this pre-infusion issue as well while we're here. So as you just saw, the pre-infusion didn't come on, but if I was to, so if I'll try it again, see now it's wanting to go up there, but the pump just won't. But if I stop it, so if I press it to full pressure by pressing and holding, pump goes, now I can press it, and watch now the pre-infusion pressure actually comes up and does its thing because the pump is turning over. But it's like it gets jammed in the position of stopped, and it's only once pump pressure comes up to full pressure that it actually works. So most times the pre-infusion doesn't actually do anything. And we've got the pre-infusion pressure set at 70%, which is actually more than we really should have to, because I mean we should be able to go right down to 55% pre-infusion pressure and have it turn over. But I mean there's no way, like let's say I go to 60, it will not work at all. Just to show you that, exit out of there. We'll just press the button as per normal. Oh look, in this case it's tried. Let's see, you can hear that's not pre-infusing.
You're out of water.
Grab some water. Okay, so it goes once the pump is going, and if I press and hold to get 100% pressure and then I go pre-infusion, you can hear it is actually pre-infusing. It won't run if there's no water in the tank. So anyway, that's another problem that has been a major issue there. Hey, guess what? I decided to do one more test at the finer grind. So I'm just going to do it real quick, just to double confirm that that 30 was a real 30. It's still only 9 bar, so it seems to be saying it's pressurising okay. On my machine, generally I go to 10 and that's about it. So it's saying I could actually even grind that a bit fine if I wanted to. These are not great beans, by the way, these are just alley beans. Oh, there we go, 34 seconds and 25 mils. All right, so that's substantially different than what we had before on the 50 mil extraction. My brother has just said another problem they've had is when the water level is low, it doesn't seem to have as much pressure.
Like if there's like 10% of water left in the tank, that are right low, steaming is really hard when that happens.
Right, so and again, that shouldn't make a difference to the pressure that the pump is pulling into there. So whether or not it does, these are things that you need to consider though with this machine. You know, that's 2 machines that I've seen that have had this similar kinds of problems. And I've actually got other friends who have got the same machine and I've observed similar problems as well. So I'm going to get back to you with a third video once mine comes back from Breville, because I've asked the service agent to give a list of the parts that they've actually replaced in order to try and fix these problems. Well, mainly the pre-infusion problem. So anyway, I might see you in the next video.